Friday, 28th May is World Menstrual Hygiene Day, so I took the time to speak to Miss Able Delali, a pharmacist and a huge menstrual hygiene advocate on social media and offline, to share her thoughts on the day and what we could be doing to help more women feel more free during their periods, to reduce the stigma and this crazy statistic that I had no idea about. We're celebrating World Menstrual Hygiene Day, and I have with me Miss Able Delali. But I just have to find
Hi.
out, are you Able Delali? Are you Delali Able? Like what is the situation?
I'm Able Delali.
Able Delali.
Able Delali, yes.
I love it.
Thank you for having me here.
I think the first question I want to ask is
Yay.
why
Yeah.
why do women need a whole day for the spotlight to be on menstruation and menstrual hygiene? Why? We've all been bleeding since we were some 9, 10, 11, up till when menopause cuts in. Why is
Yeah.
it important that we need a
15.
whole day
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
celebrate?
If you ask me, I would say we don't need a special day for someone's rights, for someone's dignity.
Mm.
I don't need a special day, let's say menstrual hygiene day, for you to know that my period is very important. It should be something that is already there. It's supposed to be a very basic human right. Something like menstruation, something like eating, something like all these things that happen to our body. It's a basic human right which we should all have. But unfortunately we don't. And it isn't even only in Africa or narrow it down to Ghana. It's everywhere, or no country that it comes to period matters. So I think Scotland, because they are the first country that are leading their fight for period dignity and period matters, everything that has to do with periods, providing girls of school going age with free sanitary pads and all. And they are doing well. So Scotland is doing well, New Zealand is doing well. And I don't want to say, so the amazing thing about these countries I've mentioned is that their leaders are women. And I keep saying that if our president was female, if our vice president was female, if our speaker of parliament were to be female, they will be more enthused to ensure that we scrape all these taxes that are placed on period products, and also ensure that girls of school-going age have period products advantage points. My dream for Ghana is that I can enter any washroom in a hotel, in a convenience store, in the mall, and find a period product there. Just like I will expect to find toilet roll in a washroom in the mall. So it should be something that Ghana should aim at achieving, where we have period products everywhere. And we have so for instance, you can enter a facility or a hospital and say you want condoms, and they are supposed to give you for free without selling.
Without even discrimination or anything, they should just give you the condoms that you want.
Yes.
Okay, wow, okay.
Exactly. So you are supposed to also enter a hospital and say, I want a pad, I want a tampon, and it should be given freely. Yet it isn't like that here. No, that is not the case in Ghana here, not at all.
Wow. Okay. So, it's interesting that you said, like, if people in leadership were women, that they would be more invested and they'd be more interested and more passionate about it. But, last year, we actually had a whole conference on menstrual hygiene. And on one day, I think it was in two parts. One day was women and the other day was men. And then, they actually had men coming to talk about, menstruation and menstrual hygiene. And it was a whole hullabaloo. So, in a way, I think, like, it was weird to have men centered on that day, but as part of efforts to make them more invested into menstrual hygiene, Do we throw the
Yeah.
mics to them occasionally, or what do you think is the best strategy forward? Because it's going to be a long time
My
before we get
my
to
okay.
as a woman.
Yeah. So my stance on men being involved has always been it's everyone's business.
Mm,
So whether you are male, you are female, period matters, it's your business.
mm,
So as much as possible, we try to explain period matters to males in the very basic form that they can understand.
mm.
So there are people who ask certain questions, and you may think maybe they are being sarcastic or something. I'm talking about non-menstruators.
Yeah.
They may be, you may think they are being sarcastic or they are being rude, but most times they don't understand it. So someone can ask you, someone thought menstrual pads were wet, just like these wipes that we use for our faces and makeup.
No, it's a
That is
lie.
how the person thought pads were like.
Wow.
No. so
Wow.
so I had to explain to him that no, they are dry and they become wet after collecting the blood. So they actually have no idea what
But then
yes about menstruation.
what
They
about
know
in
nothing.
schools? Don't they aren't they taught in schools reproductive health? Isn't this something
What they
taught?
teach us in schools, honestly, what they teach us in schools, I think it's even better they don't even teach,
Wow.
because I don't think enough is being done for non-menstruators to understand what period matters is, or what
Mm-hmm.
menstruation is.
Mm-hmm.
So as much as possible, they are supposed to know how many days they menstruate.
Mm,
They're supposed to know what can be used to collect the blood. They're
mm,
supposed to know certain basic stuff that young girls know or menstruators know.
mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, a lot of people have no idea. So how will they be able to support menstruators? How will they be able to support someone they have seen on the street and the person is bleeding, or the person didn't know that she is menstruating, so
Okay.
she has stained herself. So as much as possible,
Mm-hmm.
I think men or non-menstruators are supposed to have certain basic skills. It doesn't
Mm,
have to be everything, but
mm,
they're supposed to know how to change pads, especially if, let's say, they end up with partners who have very bad and debilitating
yeah. Yeah.
dysmenorrhea
Menstrual
or menstrual
condition.
cramps,
Mm,
where during that number of days,
mm,
they go through excruciating pain and they may not be able to take very good care of themselves.
mm,
How to change the pads, how to help alleviate the pain, what
mm,
to do, what to say.
mm.
Honestly, sometimes something someone would say to you whilst you are menstruating may get you very pissed off.
That's
And you
true.
think it's better for you not to even say anything than
Mm.
for you to come and say what you are saying to me. Oh, it's just pain, just take some para.
No, it's not
At that
just
point in
pain.
time, I will be very angry. Yes, it's not
Mm,
just pain. So my stance has always been it's everyone's business.
mm.
Men, women, everybody should know
Everybody
about it.
should.
I
Mm-hmm.
I keep all citing an example from Kenya, where
Mm-hmm.
a young girl had her very first period. Oh, I forgot it. I didn't know I still have my nose mask on.
No, it's great. You are being
I've been
hyper
in a nose
vigilant because
mask.
people are not wearing their masks in town.
Sorry, let me
So I
get it back.
love it. As a medical professional, you're showing us the way. I should even go and find
Totally
some of it.
forgotten. I still have it on. Yes, so
You were telling us about the Kenya example.
I even totally forgot it. Yes, so there was a Kenyan girl who died by suicide because a teacher sacked her from class. So she had stained herself
Uh-huh.
and she was disgraced.
Oh
She
no.
was sacked from class. Her classmates were laughing at her. And that was her very first period. Now, there is an issue of lack of education from home. Because before then, at least you should know something.
Yeah.
A lack of education on the part of the teacher. So the teacher was male.
Yeah.
The teacher is male. So if the teacher had any slight idea of how to help the girl, a very first period, that death would have been averted.
Because he's a grown man. Doesn't he know women who bleed? I don't understand this.
So this I don't understand. And that death was preventable. It was a very preventable death. I know that we don't like people talking over us when it comes to our experiences and how we have lived until now.
Yeah.
But we can't totally alienate them and expect them to understand what we are doing or how our periods are. So when we so as much as we don't want them overtaking and they being the center of our periods, we should not leave them out. Not rocket science.
That's true, though.
Everyone can get it.
I wanted to ask, in your profession, is there some sort of advocacy and outreach, to girls at primary, girls at JSS, girls in high school level, even women in tertiary institutions concerning menstrual hygiene and the rest? Is that something which is common?
Yes. So I wouldn't say it's common, but I do know that it happens. Currently, the Ladies Pharmacists Association of Ghana is embarking on a project where they want to share sanitary. I don't like saying sanitary because periods are not dirty. To have some sanitation attached to it. So period products. They want to donate certain period products to girls who have needs. So I know about the Lady Pharmacists Association of Ghana. As if I would like most, what I would have loved most is that it's supposed to be a very frequent thing where it isn't a one-day fanfare. So in the last couple of weeks and months, I've been thinking about how people wait until it's getting to 28th May. It's getting to period hygiene day before they have the fanfare where they talk. Yes, they have an outreach and talk about all these things, roping celebrities and all that. It's very good, but it isn't something we should wait until 1 year. A lot of people are on the ground. A lot of people are talking about it. But those stakeholders, those who have a say, aren't doing a lot for it.
If you're living in Accra and you see the price of the products, of period products, regular pads is like between 5 and 10 cedis, and then maybe tampons a little bit more expensive. But so you'll think living in Accra that's like it's a good price. But when you step out of like the big cities, and you go not even like too far out of the bigger cities, the community areas. And then you see how people are struggling and they can't even afford one, like even the cheapest, which is 5 or 6 cedis, to buy like a pack now. What, I wish I could ask, what is the government intervention? Because I know there isn't any. But like, so what do we do for girls like that? What do we do for women like that in those situations? What can they do?
So here's the thing. Even for we in the city, there are times when it hurts to take that 5 cedis. Recently, I think 2 weeks ago, I went to get one for myself and it was 7 cedis and I exclaimed, I said, hey, why? 7 cedis. It used to be 5,
inflation
now it's 7. It has been increased. Yes, they are expensive, even for we who have something to do and so are able to regularly buy for ourselves. We are having issues with it. The taxes are too much. We have 20% import duty tax and we have 12.5% VAT on the same item. That is too much.
It's crazy.
For a necessity.
It's 30, is that
too
30%?
Much. If,
more than 30% tax?
That is too much.
How much was the communication tax? Oh, I can't do this anymore. What is this?
Sometimes when I think about it, I don't know how we think it is a luxury tax. Like it's a luxury item to give it that huge tax. Some things which are zero taxes, they make me angry. But here we are, so we are still fighting for it. People in rural areas, honestly, a lot of NGOs and organizations are doing their best. I can say for the Chere Foundation, where instead of sharing sanitary the period pads, they rather share period cups. The menstrual cups. I
wanted to ask you about
the menstrual cups can last for about 5 years.
Oh, okay.
So when you give that to them, then it means that it reduces the amount spent on period products. Now that also has its own issues. It comes with the availability of potable water and hygiene when it comes to these products. So if it were the disposable pads, which are not environmentally friendly, now when you take it, you dispose it, and you know that at least you are protecting yourself from certain infections. But these are menstrual cups where you keep on using it for 5 years. Now, if you don't have very good water which is contaminated with microbes, it means that you'll be introducing these microbes into your vagina, which means that's extra infections. Already, females are more prone to getting infections, urinary tract infections than men, because they have very short urethra. So any small thing and you get infected. Now imagine adding that menstrual cup into your vagina, which would increase your infection. But the menstrual cup would have been the best option for these people. But a one-time purchase is a little expensive. But it looks like you are going to use it for 5 years. So
it's like
you know that you are getting value for money. An investment, yes. But how many people are going to get, let's say, 100, 200 cedis to buy one pack and one menstrual cup to use? I keep saying that the best thing to do for these people would be government policy. It is a government policy where the government says every month, every girl of school-going age from 9 to 20 or 9 to 21, that means they will enter into the university, are supposed to have menstrual products. When government comes in, then these organizations will be supplementing the government. The good thing about this is when the government comes in, the shame on periods would also reduce.
Because then it becomes
even normalized. Now, the government, yes, it becomes normalized. The government is very supportive. The government is even giving girls menstrual products, so which means that people will know it's normal. I know that there are superstitions and all, but the more the government becomes involved, the more these superstitions are questioned, and the more people normalize these periods, because there are lots of superstitions, there are lots of myths that need to be busted. And the only people who can do this, aside us who are always making noise about it, will be the government. And the government is the biggest stakeholder when it comes to these people. We can do what we are doing now, but if the government comes in, the government has a lot of funds. So the government coming in would help boost this industry. The taxes on these local manufacturers is killing them. The local manufacturers are really suffering. the taxes on their raw materials that they
Uh-huh.
import into the country
It's
is too
really
much.
high.
So now
Oh.
imagine if they are able to also give them tax the word is not even coming
Like tax
to give them
incentives
some
or tax breaks or
tax
something.
waivers so that we'll be able to produce them in bulk.
My last question is
Yeah.
on, we have various types of menstrual disorders and we have, varying levels of
Okay, this one
menstrual
is yeah.
pain.
Yeah.
So normally in companies, HR managers and the rest, they don't take, there's this idea that menstrual pain is something that women should just kind of power through when they're at the workplace. What are your thoughts on
Yeah. My thought on that is period pain is not normal.
that?
So if your pains are not pharmacological and non-pharmacological methods, then you need to seek medical help.
Mm-hmm.
You don't wait and say, oh, it's just my menses. My menses is so bad though. It's like now it has even become a badge of honor. Your menses is not even badder than mine. Yeah, I know I'm speaking bad English. It's not worse than mine. It's like now everybody wants to outdo the other when it
Yeah.
comes to menstrual cramps
Mm.
and dysmenorrhea. Please no. Your menses shouldn't be that painful. It shouldn't be debilitating so much that you can't do anything. If it is,
Mm. There's a
you
problem.
should seek medical help. My company in Ghana recently introduced the period leave, and I think majority of their staff were women. So
Mm.
they decided to give them some days off when they have their periods, so that they will come back refreshed and energized to be able to continue. And the more we
That's up.
understand these things, the more we can tackle it, and the more it wouldn't even affect people's work.
And that was Miss Able Delali, pharmacist, menstrual hygiene advocate. She's all about the periods on Facebook and offline. Fantastic woman, fantastic interview. Thank you so much. And of course, there will be links to some of the articles she has written and of course to the Chira Foundation on Facebook. So just check it out in the comments section below. That's it for Coffee Break today. I want to say a very special thank you to David Fosu from Custom and Print. This design was actually done by my friend Kweku Abedu, but the mug and all of it was done by David, so I'm really, really grateful. We are still drinking Irish Irish cream flavor coffee from Beanie's Flavored Coffee, and I'm still trying to figure out how it's getting finished so quickly. By the time it's done, please let me know which flavor or which coffee I should be drinking next. And of course, a very special thank you to Vesta Fosu of Fosu Consulting for all the brand and digital marketing advice. My name is Jennifer. This has been Coffee Break. Thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your day.